and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
'Tis the season for Sally's. Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge. Take a break from the holiday hustle and bustle. Cheer on your favorite team and ask about the daily game night food and drink features. Plus, there's tons of TVs and Oilers watch parties this December and all season long. Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Check it out.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
Reason number 37 why Nissan is built for our winter. Because winter getaways should be cozy, not cold. Kick's standard heated front seats and side mirrors help keep you warm and your view clear. That's winter ready. Now, lease a 2026 Kicks S front-wheel drive for $349 monthly at 3.9%. Or get $2,000 cash purchase bonus on remaining 2025 models. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for more details. Lease term for 48 months with $1,249 down. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
As much as she'd like to believe, she's keeping a brand new way.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, it's the Glimmer Twins versus the Geeky Squad. Oilers versus Bruins, and two of the hottest teams in December clash in Boston tonight. Who's going to win? Well, we'll talk about it today on the Lowdown. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for their Wish and Win event with 0% financing for up to 84 months on most SUVs and trucks, and clearance pricing on all 2025s. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. We are live on YouTube and on Sports 1440 AM radio. Online, we're everywhere. iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, Radio Player Canada. We tweet it out on X, Apple, and Spotify. Podcast How's the Show? And we thank you for listening live or later when you're going for your walk with your Chihuahua later in the day. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, and Jay Fenwick04. You can text or call us 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. Our guest today, we have a couple of great ones. We have Bag Milk coming your way from Oilers Nation, and Scott McLaughlin from Escape Pod and WEEI FM Boston. We'll talk a little bit about the Bruins and their strong season. They're 5-2-0 in December. The Oilers are 5-2-1. The Bruins have a better 5-on-5 goal percentage share and are looking good, despite the fact that, you know, a lot of great players have either been traded or retired over the last few seasons. This should be a hell of a game. All right, it's time for the introductions. If you're looking to buy a gift for this man, I'd suggest something in the manscaping area. He's a smooth operator. Ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger.
Pretty good.
I went with you first today to throw a little bit of a curveball. I felt like I wanted Josh to feel like panic when I said manscaping.
You completely threw me off. Excellent job. I had Josh's mic turned on. I was leaning back in my chair. I didn't expect this, but excellent work.
I want to keep you on your toes. All right. If you're looking to buy him a Christmas gift, I'll suggest a remote car starter and a comb. His hair, once again, is a mess. He can't have long hair. This is Mr. Crew Cut, Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
I have short hair right now.
No, you don't. And you're wearing your backwards cap, which is a key indicator. A, you didn't wash your hair, and B, you didn't comb it.
Get over here on camera for a sec. Show your hair.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah. Take that cap off, buddy. Oh, nice. Nice. Woohoo.
It's looking pretty short, isn't it?
No comb needed there, he lied. My goodness. This is like Mattingly in the sideburns.
All right. Sorry to everyone that had to see my balding head.
You don't have a balding
Hey,
head.
nothing wrong with balding in your 20s.
Listen, there's nothing. You guys are both fine. Relax.
I am so far from fine.
You might have got slightly underdone in the hair department, but went to the looks department. When you went to that room, you guys both hit it out of the park. You're fine.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
I am really good looking, and a big part of that through my whole life has been my hair. I went to my mom's for dinner a couple of weeks ago, and she said to me, "So you haven't shaved your head yet?" So that's where I'm at. Whoops.
Come on.
Yep.
Come on. Did you tell her about your idea to go to some small European country that does hair plugs for cheap?
I did. Yeah, Eurasia. I'm looking into it, man. There's some good packages out there. I've actually reached out to a few different clinics, and I'm really rich, so money is no object.
I think you could do a GoFundMe, and we would funnel it through this radio station, and you'd do fine.
I wouldn't do it. No, listen, if you're going to give money to something, give
tomorrow
it to
on Jason Greger's Month of Giving, you're giving money to Declan Krueger so he can take time off from work and go to Turkey.
We all know Declan's going to be famous. Let's make him as good looking as he can possibly be when he gets there.
That's kind of one of my thoughts as well. You know what I mean?
Right?
When I'm beside Madeline Klein on the red carpet at our movie premiere, I'm probably not going to look as good if I have a bald head.
When you're shopping for new houses that you want to buy in Malibu, you gotta look the part, right?
You're telling me, man.
I've toured that area by boat, like from the opposite side. I saw Cher's house. Oh man, if I could swim, I would have just run in there and.
You can't swim?
No. Knocked on the door and said, "Do you believe in love?" And she would have, of course, called the police, but it would have been a lot of fun. All right. So the Oilers play the Bruins tonight. I've looked at this from both sides now, and I will say that the Edmonton Oilers are doing very well. The Bruins they're not as famous as they used to be. Their players are, they got Pasternak, they got McAvoy, and Swayman is a real nice goaltender. He's having a good year. And they have Morgan Geekie's going crazy, but are they the equal of the Edmonton Oilers? Well, they kind of are, right now anyway. They're 5-2-0 in December. Edmonton's 5-2-1. The projected lines are interesting. I'm going to get to those now because I think it's worth talking about. We haven't rained down blows on Trent Frederick yet, and it's 5 minutes into the show. So what the hell are we doing? McDavid with Nuge and Hyman, no change there. Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Savoy, why change that? Henrique with Mangiapane and Janmark. This is the second game in a row they've run that. Last time you'll recall, hilariously, they had an 80% expected goal share, 2-0 high danger chances, and no shots on goal and none against. So I understand why they're running it back because that's the best line they've had from a third line in quite some time. But if you could score, boys, that would be great. And then Frederick at center with Max Jones and Quinn Hudson. So Frederick is not only, the high ankle sprain is causing him, and it's lingering, it's causing him to be slow. Now they're asking him to work in the middle. I just think it is going to be a story by the end of the game tonight. They'll be talking about it on the post game. It's an unbridled disaster. And I have an article tomorrow in which I'm going to talk about many things the Oilers should do. And one of them is to fade Trent Frederick. I'm not talking about buying him out. I'm not talking about, just playing him on the penalty kill. I'm saying, rest him for a while. It's almost Christmas. There's a break there. He doesn't have his foot speed back yet. And you can say all you want that he's fine and he can't go on LTIR. I buy into all of that. But you should not sacrifice minutes when you have other players. And at this point, even though we don't really know if David Tomasic is an NHL player for real, I think it's a better bet to run Frederick in the press box and run Tomasic with Jones and Hudson. That's where I am on Trent Frederick. Any thoughts, boys?
Sorry. Yeah. I was just looking at something.
Well, sure. No, I mean, you're busy. The show's noon to 2, but you got things to do.
Well, on David Tomasic first, he started out so strong. He was getting power play one time as a net front presence. I was really liking what I was seeing from him, and it just kind of slowly dwindled. And I didn't think in the first couple of games of the season, despite how they were playing, we'd be having a conversation in mid-December, is he an NHL player? I thought he was a guy who was going to be locked into the lineup. And quite frankly, initially, and albeit very early, I thought he was going to be locked in as a top 6 player with that being with Hyman out. So the fall from grace, if you want to call it that.
Well, it was also Roslovic, right?
Yeah, no, and Roslovic, he was a huge addition to the team, and he came in and he did, what he was supposed to do, and he became obviously a great piece. What was the other part of your question?
I was just asking about Frederick playing in the middle, and I suggest that maybe don't LTIR him because apparently he's healthy, and don't buy him out, but rest him through Christmas, and maybe he comes back in January and he's got a little better speed burst.
I don't love Trent. Trent said he can play center. He said he's played center before.
He's not a great center.
I don't love it. Yeah, I don't love him as center. Listen to the thing. He has not produced at all. Obviously, the minutes has been an issue, but he hasn't produced at all on the wings. Now, all of a sudden, we're putting him in a position, and granted, in a bottom 9 role, you're not going to be driving a line. You just don't really do it as a third or fourth line center. But for all intents and purposes, we'll say you're playing the position of a line driver. And there has not been a single thing in his game this season I've seen that makes me believe he can do that. The issue of resting him, I guess, sure, but to me, it almost feels like if you're resting him just to kind of give him a little bit of time until you get back from the holidays, that feels almost waving the white flag-ish again, middle of December. I don't know.
I disagree. He re-injured it in April.
Yes.
And so we know high ankle sprains, and everybody's different in terms of recovery, but we know they're a very difficult injury to recover from. We had Rachel Krychak on. She was Rachel Dory at the time of the trade, and she said, I'm worried about this. This is something that was, and you can get mad as you want at Stan Bowman for making this deal. That's understandable. That's the job. But we're talking about a player here you've signed for 8 years, and blows are being rained down on him on the daily. I would pull him out of the lineup because his foot speed has gone markedly down. It's under 35 kph this year, and everybody was mad at him for being slow last year, and it was higher last year. So good grief.
I'm not mad at Trent Frederick in the press box at all. I think he belongs in the press box because of how he's played. The idea that it's kind of shadowed or umbrellaed with, hey, we're just giving him some time off and a rest. Granted, that can be a real thing, but I just think that's I just think it's a terrible look.
I don't at all. It's provable. You can go to NHL Edge right now and look at his foot speed. His max foot speed is off from a year ago. And a year ago, he had a high ankle sprain.
No, yeah. I guess my thing would just be, I'm not convinced it would work.
Oh, well, that's okay, though, because if it doesn't work, then you can LTIR him. If you give him time off, and he's working on his skating and he's getting better and he's got a few more weeks to recover, and then he goes back and he's still slow, then I think you can LTIR him.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you both this, expressed as a percentage. What do you think the percentage is that Trent is just, still recovering, will get back to full form, versus he is not the player we signed him to be?
Oh, I think if he I watched him play in Boston. I have a 90% sure that he can come back and play and be effective for the Edmonton Oilers.
So 90-10. That's what that's about what I pegged you at. I'm closer to 65-35.
And that's fair. Yeah. And I'm not suggesting you change your mind. What I'm saying is that I don't care what it looks like. He is costing them goals against right now. Yeah. And so then you shouldn't play him. I don't care what the look is.
I don't mind him in the press box at all. I just don't love it under the pretense of take a break.
I don't care what the pretense is.
Yeah,
you can say he likes Christmas shopping. It doesn't matter if he's not playing on the ice, and he's playing center tonight, which is not his strength. I just think the Oilers are not handling this player well. And it goes back to the summer where Stan Bowman signs Frederick, he signs Mangiapane, and Chris Knobloch isn't able to find a role for these players. Yep.
They tried hard to find Mangiapane a role.
This disconnect, man, I'm telling you, it happened with Peter Chiarelli and Todd McClellan, and they both got their asses fired. So my suggestion would be that Bowman and Knobloch better get on the same page next July 1st, because you're bleeding money, and it's the boss's money. And I'm sure he's not looking favorably on that. And it is highly frustrating. If I make a list right now,
2 years too.
If I make a list right now, going back to 2015, Sekera's signing was good. He got hurt. Milan Lucic was a terrible signing that cost them not just years of NHL play from Lucic when he wasn't effective, but they also had a guy, Patrick Maroon, that they really liked and did fit with McDavid, and they couldn't afford to sign him. Why? Because they had Milan Lucic, an untradeable contract on the roster, signed by Peter Chiarelli. So if I'm Daryl Cates, I tell the general manager on July 1st of 2026, if you sign a free agent today, you're fired because you're no damn good at it, and you can't get on the same page as your bleeding coach about what the style is going to be of this team, and you cannot incorporate these free agents into the roster. So don't spend any money on July 1st, and if you do, I'm firing you. I think that's fair.
You don't think that's a little quick?
Nope. Not at all. I'll make a list. I will make a list of the July 1st gaffes from this team since 2015. Oh my God, I'm going to add up all the millions that Daryl Cates has spent because he believed in his general managers. And then we're going to find a box of shame to put his general managers in. And we're going to put the coaches in there too, because they don't find a way to make this stuff work. If you sign a guy on July 1st for a lot of money, sure as God is my witness, the coach has to be on tandem with making that work. And they haven't done it. Now, in the case of Frederick, I understand it, because they did put him on the top line because they wanted him to be there, and he just wasn't ready. His ankle sprain made it ineffective. But Mangiapane's a better player than this, but they're using the dump and chase on his line, and it's not working. I'm looking forward to Henrique, Janmark, and Mangiapane. They did show some life. They didn't get any shots on goal in the game the other night. But when I talk to McLaughlin, the first thing I'm going to ask him, just so you know, is because he's been around the Bruins all the time, I'm going to say, listen, has he had ankle injuries or loss of speed in years previous to last year? I know it was like around February 20th or something when he got hurt, and they didn't think they were going to be able to trade him, and they did to Edmonton, even with the high ankle sprain, and he missed the last, 9 games of the regular season, something like that. And then they played him in the playoffs, and he was not effective. Now, I think you got to wait a year on a high ankle sprain. The last note that I saw from Sports Forecaster, which is really good at this kind of thing, tracking it, is that he re-injured it around April 7th. So if April 7th is the start date, then we can roll out from there. And I don't think it's unreasonable to think that he might still be having problems these many months later. I don't think that's unreasonable. Remember, Leon had a tough time. It's a bad injury, and it's a bad injury for hockey players. So we'll see. But I don't think playing him tonight in Boston at center is going to help Trent Frederick at all. And the heat is on because guess what? Stuart Skinner's in a new town. So you got to pick somebody else to pick on, and it's going to be Trent Frederick. That's just the way it is. Anything else we want to talk about? I guess we took the whole break talking about this.
One thing is, I wouldn't say you're choosing someone to pick on. Like the play on the ice is giving you a reason.
Sure, but he's making 3.85, and I got a guy on my blog today saying that the Oilers thought they were signing Billy Guerin. Billy Guerin in his prime would go for about 10 to 12 million right now. They were signing a third line guy at the third line rate when the new cap hits. Like 3.85 is going to be a third line rate in the new cap world. I wouldn't sign anybody to 3.85 in the third line, but they liked him because of his truculence, which is a word we can still use again. By the way, the last time I used manscaping on this show, everybody went after me. This time, nothing. Did you just pick that word that day to pick on, or what?
No, we knew you were fishing.
Wow. So I can go back to my cribbage terms now? Is that okay?
I never had a problem with those.
Whatever, man. Your show.
That should be our cell line of the show. Lowdown with Lowetide. Whatever, man. I think that works. Okay. We've got a very busy show. We got Scott McLaughlin coming in to talk Boston. We've got Bag Milk to talk about the Edmonton Oilers from Oilers Nation. And Declinations, what we doing? What is it today? Is it Declan CAA?
It is. This is similar to the same. It was like same point last year where at this point I kind of just say, okay, playoffs are here. Let's let the games happen. So we'll talk about them a little bit, but it really is just let's let the games play out. Let's go see.
Can we just spend 1 minute on Notre Dame's big baby energy?
No, it's kind of a dead horse at this point. Like the college football world's moved on. They're not talking about Notre Dame anymore. They're letting them whine in the corner.
Good. And put a dunce cap on them just to make sure
For
that
a
everybody
fan,
knows.
you speak of them pretty harshly.
Come on. What a joke. And they get what I don't like is they get favorite every year. And the one year they just play it straight and call it straight up. Notre Dame's sulking like a big baby.
Yeah, like all you have to do is win one of those games.
Probably I hate it so much.
Win both.
Probably I hate it so much because it reminds me a lot of me. Maybe that's what it is. All right. On the way, rumors. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440. At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers, and that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit FountainTire.com today.
Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Hey, if your company advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca. And let's get to work for you.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vinny and Donnan have to offer. Visit vinnyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
$14.40 at 12:20. Presented by Wolf GMC Buick Wish and Win event on right now. Everyone's a winner at wolfgmcbuick.com. When I left the studio yesterday, I was cold because I wore a hoodie, but it wasn't thick enough for the blizzard. So I was walking hurriedly with my hoodie hat on, and I looked over and I saw young Josh Fenwick in his car, freezing as it warmed up. And then I walked to my car and I said, did I see Josh Fenwick in his car? Or did he just start it and then went back into the studio?
You did, in fact, see Josh Fenwick in his car. I saw you put the car in drive and everything, move forward a little bit.
Do you have a automatic car starter?
I do not. I did, however, have my Udi in the car. So I put that on and then proceeded to drive home.
Okay.
Took me about 45 minutes, I would say.
It took me a while to do. I had to go do some Christmas shopping, and
I did not make any stops.
I got home around 4:15.
Good Lord.
Yeah. But I mean, I was shopping.
But you made stops. Yeah. I made no stops. I got home at 2:45 or whatever. Only got in almost one car accident.
And Declan got home at midnight. Declan works an actual day here.
I bet there was no actual traffic when Declan left here.
No, there was a little.
No.
I've never seen that few people parked up top.
You know, the West Edmonton Mall, which is where we work, is I can tell all the holidays. I can tell when kids who like go to school in Saskatchewan get the week off because the mall is full of folks from Saskatchewan. This mall is always busy. Yesterday, not so much. Is that a big trade happening, or did you just have to stretch?
Nope, big win for Luffy and the Piltycocks tonight. That's my curling team. We are now 2-0 in the A division because our opponent had to forfeit tonight.
What is the name of the team again?
Luffy and the Piltycocks. Do you know what a Piltycock is?
I don't even know what a Luffy is.
I don't know what Luffy is either, but I know what a Piltycock is, and it is one of the original names for a rock in curling.
You
The
did tell me
Luffy
that.
might be a broom.
Sure.
Could be wrong.
Could be the name of a girl.
But
you
that's our team name, the Piltycocks, and our group chat name is Luffy and the Piltycocks.
I'm just so happy you stayed with Piltycocks because that could have gone a lot of different
Well,
ways.
so we wanted Luffy and the Piltycocks on like our little nameplate.
Little nameplate with that kind of name.
I know, right? On our nameplate to go up. And the manager of the club, Otwell Curling Club, Rick, shout out. I know you're listening right now. He was like, can we just put Piltycocks on it? It's like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Good man, Rick.
He's a good guy.
Time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. We believe you should create your own electricity. Let's build a brighter, sustainable future at greatcanadiansolar.com. I read you the lines. I'm going to do it again, but then I'm also going to read you the pairings. Okay? Where the hell are they? You know, I keep clicking around, man. What did I do? What did I do? I had the pairings. Oh, Lowetide.
Can I just give you a quick update while you...
yeah, I got to find it. Go ahead.
Rick texted me and he said, thanks, Josh Lal. So I knew he was listening.
Well, you guys got a good relationship, right?
Yeah, no, he's very nice. Watched all my games in high school because the Otwells where we curled for our high school league.
That was the prison league you were in when you were in high school?
Yeah, the juvenile delinquents of Alberta.
Yeah. All right, here it goes. McDavid with Hyman and Nuge, Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Savoy, Henrique with Mangiapane and Janmark. Here's the tweak. Frederick at center with Jones and Hudson. Lazar, we assume he's out because of that injury. We don't know. And then Tomasic also a healthy scratch. Frederick in the middle. I don't recall him doing well at center in Boston when I watched him. I think he's a really good middle six winger. And this will be a real challenge for him. I hope he does well. But based on his lack of foot speed this year, I'm not hopeful. And then the other side of it is every coach in Stod McLellan will scrap the fourth line for parts if they have to. And I suspect that will happen. Here's the other interesting thing that I held back in the first segment so we could talk about something other than Piltycocks. The pairings defensively. Ekholm with Bouchard, Nurst with Stastny, Stillman with Emberson. That's interesting. That's interesting to me. What do you think out there, kids? Regula was not on the ice, fighting off an illness. He's also, had some difficult playing time. Wallman not close to back. So Riley Stillman makes his NHL debut, his debut as an NHL Oiler in the NHL tonight. And then Tristan Jarry with Calvin Pickard backing him up tonight. I'll be totally honest with you, I do not like Frederick in the middle. And I'm a Frederick guy. I'm still cheering for him. I'll still, back him up, and I get stubborn on players. I got stubborn on Stuart Skinner, and I'm stubborn on Trent Frederick. I know he's not playing well. I don't think he should be playing. But if you sign a guy to an 8-year deal and you're going to throw him under the bus, 6 months later, then I don't think that's the way Edmonton Oilers fans are. I think you give him a chance. And he's not making $10 million. He's making $3.85. Flames Jake Bean undergoing undisclosed surgery, out indefinitely. NHL's getting ridiculous now. It really is. Guy comes out, his head's wrapped in a bandage, and he's like, yeah, upper body injury. And everybody goes, oh, okay. Because they don't tell you anything. I think the NHL should just stop telling people what's happening. Because that's basically what's happening anyway. We run around as media and chase after these ridiculous, upper body injury things. And people want to know. They genuinely do. And they look to the media for the answer, and the answer is not coming. But that's because of the organizations. And it's not just the Oilers. Or in this case, the Flames. The difference is the Oilers have players that people are interested in, the Flames do not.
Oh, really? Which one of us here keeps bringing up Dustin Wolf every day? Oh, if they just give up one of their goalies.
Yeah, he's a good goalie. He's not having a good year, but he's a good goalie.
The defense isn't having a good year.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that one guy.
Rasmus?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of our good defensemen. But I don't know. The headline for Flames Nation today was Rasmus trade when? 2 question marks, and it was on all caps. I did a little bit of research. I couldn't find any hints or anything that there were actually trade rumors going on that he's getting dealt. But then again, I'm not an insider.
You should start writing for Flames Nation. It'd be a little side gig there for you.
Talk to Wanye about it.
What did he say?
I haven't talked to Wanye. I said I'll talk to Wanye about it.
Well,
or I guess
you're known as a
Wanye
Flames
to someone that I can talk about, because I guess he's not with. I don't even know what that situation is, but get him to put me in contact with somebody, maybe.
Well, I think I don't know the inside stuff, and I know it changes quickly, but I think my guest today from Oilers Nation may be helpful to you.
Oh yeah, Jay. Yeah. Bag milk. Well, yeah. Maybe next season.
Like, you be aggressive. Be aggressive.
I get
You're
it. Be
a talented
aggressive.
guy.
Okay, listen, I am working hard right now.
You got to do something about the hair.
I just got a job producing a podcast.
Listen, that's an opportunity for you.
It's a great opportunity. No. I had a meeting about it on Tuesday.
No, I'm talking about the writing for
the writing thing. Yeah, I get it. A Fenwick back in action behind the keyboard.
Islanders Maxim Siplikov generating trade interest. There's going to be trades, I think, before the Olympic break, the deadline too. I think we're going to see some stuff happen. Anybody excited about Siplikov at all?
Sipla who?
Not overly.
Okay,
yeah, I wasn't listening.
What do you like about his game?
I right now I need a left winger who can score and replace Nuge on the top line. I don't care who it is, and I don't know that he's the guy, but that's what I'm looking for. In all seriousness, they need one more, and he can cost nothing. That's the other thing. He can't cost any money at all. Major Leagues of Baseball is getting a little boring right now. They got Tucker. Kyle Tucker is not signed yet. Bichette is not signed yet. They're making rinky-dink deals with relievers that are barely famous. But other than that, it's kind of a Dullsville time. Every year it's always promised that there's going to be a spectacular win of meetings, and then it's just a dud, and that's what happened.
Listen, no free agency is as fun as the NBA free agency. That's just a fact.
No, it's true. NBA is the most interesting league on the planet. Matt Eberflus is on the hot seat in Dallas. Should he be?
Oh, he's a horrible coach.
Shocker.
Like, let's not act so surprised.
Well, Jerry knows football. He can't. Well, how would he possibly hire a guy who's no damn good?
You know what? I give him this credit though. No one liked Brian Schottenheimer as the hire, and he's done better than I expected with the roster he had.
Just saying, Jerry doesn't make a misstep. It's all the players.
Yeah, well,
Joe Burrow says he's staying with the Bengals.
He's the defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, DC.
God forbid your best defensive player gets traded away, and it's your problem. And then they trade for Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson Jr. And the defense actually looks really good. Now Quinnen Williams is out with a concussion. Like, I don't know how this is Matt Eberflus's problem that he had a terrible defense to start the year off.
Well, Jerry's mad at him.
Jerry should be mad with himself. Take a look in the mirror before you start.
Are you a billionaire? Do you know what? I think billionaires.
Do I own America's team? No.
Best guess for me is that billionaires don't feel bad about themselves ever.
Well, rightfully so. They have a bunch of money. But when he loves the Dallas Cowboys like they're his first child, and he treats them like their first child because it's all mucked up now. No offense to all the parents out there, but let's be real. Your first kid didn't know what you were doing.
If I was king of the world, I would send a giant package of humility to every billionaire in the world.
Yeah, if only that was a tangible product. But this is a full Jerry Jones thing. Everyone's been calling for him to fire himself since like 2001.
He's the best general manager in the history of the game. Keep him right where he is.
Okay, Eagles fan. Just like, listen, the thing about the NFL is like, it's more fun when the Cowboys are good, Just like how in the NHL, it's more fun when both the Oilers and the Flames are good. because rivalry. So when both the Cowboys and the Eagles are good, it's like, oh my God, like this is the rivalry everyone wants to watch.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. Joe Pisarcuk is one of my favorite human beings ever because of that fumble. The interception. That was awesome. I loved it. So today, Rams Seahawks, two good teams. How do we feel about the game, boys?
Huge game. Really excited for this one. If the Rams, there's like a scenario where like if the Rams lose and the 49ers win out, the 49ers can win the division. I think we need to give Kyle Shanahan Coach of the Year. I know that's not in reference to the Rams Seahawks game. He has been like one of the best coaches in the league basically since he's taken over the job of the 49ers, and he's never really gotten recognition for it because it's always been expected. But what he's done this year with no Warner, no Bosa, Mac Jones having to come in, like we need to give him his flowers as Coach of the Year. Obviously, there are a few games left to determine that. This game, I think either of these teams can make the Super Bowl. And the reason I was so hesitant is because of Sam Darnold. But defense wins championships. We saw what the 2013 Broncos did. Like Peyton Manning that year had seven touchdowns and 13 interceptions or some terrible stat line. Now, obviously, he's an all-time great. But that defense carried them to the championship. Seattle has a defense like that. Like I'm so high on what they're able to do defensively. I've been so listen, last week notwithstanding, it wasn't a great game. They still got the win against Phillip Rivers and the Colts. This is a huge game for the division. Two really good teams. We usually get Thursday night slop. We're being treated with this one.
Are we going to get the cool uniforms?
I don't know what the uni matchup is.
All right. Did you have something to say about the football game?
You're talking about his 2015 year, right?
Manning? Yeah.
Yeah. 9 touchdowns, 17 interceptions.
Even worse than I thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 9 touchdowns.
He was hurt too.
Yeah. Well, he missed the 2011 season with a neck injury, right? And then he just hasn't really been able to throw the ball since, even though he threw for 55 touchdowns
like the
2
best
years later.
Season ever.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to get something.
I do have thoughts.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
Well, I was waiting for
you. Do you want me to shut his mic off? I'll do it.
You can turn my mic off.
I have something I would like to bring up, and we also have something coming
absolutely. You can bring it up. Everyone's saying the Rams. I say Seahawks. I'm with you. Defense wins championships, although this is the time of year last year where Sam Darnold started to fall apart in a divisional game against the Lions for a big seed, like a very, very important game. So I'm really excited to watch this now because I don't have to go to curling. So
there you go.
But I like the Seahawks in this one.
Pierre LeBrun on Insider Trading says Evan Bouchard's name is resurfaced on Team Canada's Olympic team's radar due to his recent play. He thinks it's between Bouchard and Matthew Schaefer for the AD spot. I think Schaefer gets it. What do you guys think?
I saw that report, I should say. I love Schaefer. Like, you hear people talk about how good of a skater he is, and then you watch a New York Islanders game, and you're like, man, can this guy fly? I don't know. I think Schaefer is going to turn into being a better defenseman than Evan Bouchard. At this stage in their careers, Evan has so much more big game experience. I feel like that would benefit the team in the Olympic setting. Let me ask you guys this. How much do you think Evan Bouchard's tendency to turn the puck over and a smaller rink factors into Team Canada's decision?
Not a lot, but they're always risk averse. This Bouchard's not going. They've already got Cale Makar for that role.
They do.
It'll be Schaefer because I know what they'll say. When they announce Schaefer, they'll say, we want to have this guy for 3 Olympics because next time he's going to be like the captain and the following time he's going to be the elder statesman. And we're going to have him like on at least 3 Olympic teams. We can't pass up the opportunity. That's what they're going to say.
Like the human side of me wants to see Bouch make it this time because I told Schaefer's going to get like 3 more. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Maybe like 4.
Well, I mean, you don't know. Is he going to play 20 years? Maybe. Going to play till he's 40? Maybe.
Is he a good enough skater to play that long?
Oh, he's a really good skater.
I mean, the age and injury, defenseman and injuries.
Okay. I don't know. I think there's got to be a little bit of youth put onto the Team Canada roster,
Well, Bouchard, he looks old, but he's not that old.
I know, he looks so old. Like he genuinely, he looks like a 32-year-old man. And then
you can't
come to find out he's younger than my brother. So,
he's not an old guy, but he does. I mean, I think he gets like 5 o'clock shadow. He could shave at 10 o'clock in the morning, and he'd have by game time he's got a little beard.
I wish I could get 5 o'clock shadow. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, just don't shave for 6 months.
We'll see what happens. I just don't think Bush makes it. I think you're right. The risk aversion, everything about his game, I wouldn't exactly screams.
No, there's no way.
You're ready to go play against the best players in the world, you know?
Scott McLaughlin from the Skate Pod on the way next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
He's a winner.
Sweet.
She's a winner too.
Great.
Everyone's a winner during Wish and Win at Wolf GMC Buick. Every single customer is guaranteed at least a $500 bonus with a chance to save up to $25,000 towards a new GMC or Buick. At Wolf GMC Buick, we also have 0% financing up to 84 months on most of our popular SUVs and trucks. And we're clearing out remaining 25s, including cash discounts up to $10,000 on a great selection of Sierra HDs. 90 seconds east of the Henday. Wolf GMC Buick, where everyone wins.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
'Tis the season for Sally's. Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge. Take a break from the holiday hustle and bustle. Cheer on your favorite team and ask about the daily game night food and drink features. Plus, there's tons of TVs and Oilers watch parties this December and all season long. Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Check it out.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
Oh, 'tis the season to find the perfect gift at the perfect price at Leduc Goldsmiths.
The annual Christmas sale is on now with 10 to 25% off all in-store products. All natural and lab-created diamond engagement rings up to 25% off with a wide selection available. You'll have no trouble finding the right piece. The team at Leduc Goldsmiths have years of expertise to help find what you need. Leduc Goldsmiths on Main Street, Leduc. Leduc's Jewelry Store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
$14.40 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Kind of a major event happened here just moments ago. Scott McLaughlin became the 100th guest we've accidentally hung up on before he hit the air. Scott, welcome to the show and congratulations on that milestone.
Thank you. I feel honored. What's my prize?
We don't have one, but if we did, it would be really good. Just imagine something really cool pulling into your driveway in 10 minutes. That would be what it would be if we had one, but we don't. So we got lots to talk to you about, Scott, by the way, from the Skate Pod and WEEI radio in Boston. I wanted to talk to you about, because the Oiler fans are agog with the Trent Frederick performance, and we know he had a high ankle sprain. I don't know, was it 2 weeks before the trade deadline? So my question for you is, when he had that injury, did you and most observers of the Boston Bruins think he was unlikely to be traded, and was it a surprise when the Oilers picked him up?
Yeah, I think right away around here we thought maybe that was going to prevent him from getting traded. And then there did start to be some rumors that started to surface kind of in the days leading up to, what ultimately ended up being the Oilers trade, that there was still interest in him. that it seemed like the Bruins were still going to be able to make a move if they wanted to. It seemed like the injury was not something that was going to cost them the rest of the season. And so as it got closer to the deadline, it became clear that there was probably still a trade to be made, even if, it wasn't going to be maximum value. I do think around here people were surprised that the Bruins ultimately got as much as they got for him, given that he was still dealing with the injury.
Do you, in his time in Boston, I saw him play. I like him as a left winger. I'm not as enamored with him as a center, but I liked him in Boston as a left winger. Rugged guy, could score a little bit, could slide up if necessary. We'll call him a middle six winger. But were there things about his speed game that were eroding? He's not an old man, but his foot speed, you'll notice tonight, is way off what I recall him being able to do in Boston. Did he have any other injuries that impacted his legs or his foot speed previous to that high ankle sprain?
Not that I can remember. I feel like that wasn't really his issue last year because he was off to a slower start last season before the injury and the trade anyways. His production was way down from the previous season, but I don't really remember it being a speed issue. It felt like a season where he just couldn't get going and was kind of just always fighting it. They didn't really find the right spot for him in the lineup. And even still, obviously his production last year was still much better than it's been this year. I'm sure maybe the injury has had something to do with it. Here, he was always a pretty good skater. Like, he could get to where he needed to get to, and there were times where you'd see, a bit of like a power forward stride, where he could get an edge on defensemen and use that powerful stride to get by them. The issue here was really the consistency with which he would do that. You'd see it in a game, a period, a certain shift, and you'd kind of wonder why he couldn't do it more often. So I think it was more consistency than, at least as far as I can recall, anything technical with his skating or anything injury related.
The Bruins this year they're not the team that I loved Bergeron. I loved Marchand. When he got traded, I was so upset because I loved that Bruins team that won in 11 and was close a couple of other times. And that was sort of the end of it. They're not as famous as they were, but they've got a really good record. They're hot as a firecracker in December. And Morgan Geekie has turned into one of the better free agent signings by the Boston Bruins in many, many years.
Yeah, he looks like one of Don Sweeney's best moves. A player that was just a fourth liner in Seattle and Carolina. Seattle left him unqualified. He was a restricted free agent. They didn't even give him a qualifying offer. And, when the Bruins signed him, what we heard and what Don Sweeney told us was, we think there's more there if he gets the opportunity. He had good underlying metrics, good rate statistics that indicate that, maybe there was a pretty good scorer in there, at least, in his limited minutes and his reduced role. And sure enough, as he kind of kept getting more comfortable in Boston and getting more minutes and getting opportunities higher in the lineup, he started scoring more and really took off. I would say started December last year. He had actually gotten off to a really slow start, but then started to find his game in December and has just been, legitimately one of the best goal scorers in the NHL ever since now for a full calendar year.
The Bruins are I don't want to call them in a period of transition, but they are. I think they've done a really good job of cobbling together some replacements for forwards, who have left. Geekie would be an example of that, and still have Pasternak and McAvoy, who are in their prime, and Swayman playing well. What's been the key to what I think most would believe to be a pretty impressive record based on the talent that's been on the ice this year? What are they doing well to cause this impressive season?
Yeah, I think it definitely starts with the goaltending. Jeremy Swayman has been way better than he was last season. This has been much more like the goalie that they thought and expected to get when they gave him an 8-year extension. He's been great. their special teams have completely turned around from last year. Special teams were always a staple for the Bruins for a long time. And then last year they were bottom 10 in the league on both the power play and the penalty kill. This year they're top 5 on the power play, and they had been top 10 on the penalty kill pretty much all season until a little bit of a recent dip. I think they're like 14th now or something. But for the most part, both units have been good. And they've just been scoring more than I think anyone would have expected. You know, that this has been, I think they're 6th in the NHL in goals per game. And obviously the power play is a big part of that. But even 5-on-5, they've found guys who have stepped up. You know, obviously, like we said, Geeky scoring at the rate he's scoring has been huge. But some of these guys on their second line, Casey Middlestad, no one really knew what they were getting. Well, he's been pretty good. You know, you guys had Victor Arvidsson up there last year. No one knew what the Bruins were getting from him. He's been solid in the middle six role. So they've had guys step up and take advantage of some opportunities and put pucks in the net and make this a top 10 offense, which everyone thought was going to be their weakness. Everyone wondered who was going to score other than Pasternak, and it's been a lot of guys raising their hands.
Scott McLaughlin, our guest on Sports 1440 and the Lowdown with Lowetide from the Skate Pod and WEEI Radio in Boston. When he signed with Boston, I will tell you, I was not at all surprised. Tanner Jeannot is a big, tough, rugged player. No fun to play against. Those are ways of saying he was born to be a Boston Bruin. How has he looked for the Bruins this year?
He looked good. You know, I think, again, another guy that everyone looked at his point totals from the last couple of years and was like, you know, why are they giving that player a 5-year deal? You know, there were a lot of questions about it, but, you know, he's got 14 points in 34 games. That's already more points than he had all of last year. He sets a physical tone for them. Obviously, that's what he's known for. I think he's taking on kind of a secondary leadership role in the room. He's, you know, a veteran voice. His minutes are up from where they were the last couple of years. Like, he's been mostly a third liner, a little bit of fourth line, but a really solid bottom six forward that, you know, people still might have issues with the length of the contract, but so far, I would say it's been as advertised and probably a little more.
Will he play tonight? I know he's been ill. Will he play tonight?
He is in. Yep. Margaret Sturm said he was feeling fine today.
And Swayman starts?
Yep. Swayman in net.
Okay. I can't let you go without talking a little bit about the Zdeno Chara number retirement coming up in January. I go back to Bobby Orr as a Bruins fan, and Orr will always have a special place in my heart. No defenseman's ever going to replace him. But Chara as a Bruin was an absolute delight. And well deserving of this honor, obviously. But I'm thrilled that he's going to have it. And I understand that there's going to be a commemorative bobblehead giveaway too.
Yeah, there will be, and Andrew Ferentz is actually hosting the ceremony, so that should be entertaining. You know, as you guys probably know, he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Who seems like made for something like that. But yeah, it should be a great night. You know, we were talking about Geeky being a great free agent signing. Well, he'll never be the best free agent signing in Bruins history because that is Zdeno Chara, one of the best free agent signings for any NHL team ever. And yeah, I mean, you know, his arrival really changed everything for the Bruins. Like, he was the culture change coming, you know, only 7 months, I think, 7-8 months after the Joe Thornton trade. So it was the end of one era, and that signing marked the start of the next one. And obviously, you know, a great captain for many years. I think only Ray Bourque has him beat in terms of longest time spent as a Bruins captain. So obviously well-deserved, you know, went into the Hall of Fame last month. So big year for Chara, and that should be a great night.
Will there be a like a video thank you and presentation during the game for Frederick in Boston? It's his first game back.
You know, this has actually been like a funny debate around here this year. Is, you know, are there too many tribute videos? And he will get at least a quick thank you message. I don't know if it's going to be like because usually they do it during the first commercial break.
No.
So I don't know if he'll get the full break, for his video and applause from the crowd, but I would bet there's at least a quick thank you.
All right. Thanks for this. Enjoy the game tonight. We appreciate your time.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
All right. There you go. Scott McLaughlin from Escape Pod and WEEI-FM in Boston, Massachusetts. I don't think Christian Jari got a video. Like usually they give a thank you for your time, and everybody applauds and both teams tap their sticks. And I don't think Jari got one. So we'll find out about Frederick tonight. I don't think he would get a thank you video in Edmonton, but maybe
you gotta do something to earn that video.
Well, he did. He played very well for Boston.
Yeah, but you got to achieve something.
So you don't think Christian Jari should have gotten one?
No.
Okay.
But I'm also, I have a very high standard for the return videos because they've become so commonplace. But I genuinely think you have to, being there isn't enough. You have to achieve something.
So you have to win a championship or something like that.
No, you don't have to win a championship, but you have to do something more than just play there.
So Jimmy Butler won't get a thank you video.
Well, he did.
Well, I don't think so. He didn't do anything.
Well, he did.
Went to the finals twice.
Yeah, this is just obviously.
This
is obviously just a rage bait TikTok take. That clip would do great on TikTok.
Stuart Skinner took him to the finals twice.
I'd give
Stuart Skinner
I'd give Stuart Skinner a video. I'd give him a video.
I don't think Jimmy Butler earned one.
Local boy went to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals.
So he deserves one over Jimmy Butler.
No.
Okay.
No.
Jimmy's going to be a Hall of Famer.
I didn't think
Stuart Skinner will be lucky to be in the league next year.
I didn't.
Whoa.
That's hard. You're right. That's hard.
All right,
that's
Mr.
harsh.
TikTok.
You're right.
I knew I could get some Stuart Skinner hate from back there.
I'm giving Stuart Skinner a video, no questions asked, and I'm making it emotional.
Well, now that you've run him out of town, I guess it'll be a victory video, Are you giving me one of the fingers right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Josh just did.
Okay, well,
but I'm not on camera, so I'm able to do it.
I always like when I'm coming for you and you still say something. That's what makes you a great broadcaster. Are we done our Christmas shopping?
Not even close.
Good Lord, man. I only have one gift left.
I went out and tried yesterday. I did. I tried. It was in a blizzard. I said, no, commit to the bit. You go get that gift.
But you see, the thing is that, I'm sure where you went, it wasn't that busy because
it was very busy.
Was it actually?
I didn't get a gift because I got confused. They asked me questions I didn't know the answer to because I'm not good at observing things.
Who were you trying to shop for?
For Karen.
Oh.
It's got to be right. You got to get that right.
Give her cash and say, "Here you go."
It doesn't work like
that.
Cash is like grubby, messy, and it's been handed by a lot of people. You got to do something
Wash
unique
it first.
Can I actually give you guys a question to think on before the break here?
So are we doing something new here, or we're thinking about something?
No,
We've never done it before.
Didi from Border City, he said, "Guys, do you think Stu and Kulak will get a thank you video finals twice?" I actually think they'll pair them as a video. Now that Didi from Border City mentions it, but in my mind, I'd give Stu one far before I'd give Kulak one.
I think that they might not do a Skinner video because people will boo it and
they
throw
have
stuff
to do
on them.
I don't think anyone will. I don't think anyone would do a Skinner video.
I think it would be inappropriate to do a Skinner video.
Really?
The fans don't want it. They didn't like Stuart Skinner. They hated him.
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
The people that texted into the station did not like Stuart Skinner. The people who are the majority of hockey fans, I would say, love Stuart Skinner in this city.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that either.
I'd say I'd talk to more people that like Stuart Skinner than hated Stuart Skinner.
If you go down with the ship, if you were hating on Skinner before he got traded, then you can't come back and say, this is well-deserved afterwards. Forget about it. I'm not letting you do that. Not letting you off the hook, including both of you guys.
That's you.
Well,
both of you guys.
You don't have to let us off the hook. He's pretty bad here.
Back-to-back Stanley Cup finals.
He's good. I like Stu.
Good.
He's just not that good.
Kulak definitely deserves a video, though. He was their second best defenseman in both playoff runs?
Yeah, he played great.
I refuse to let you two enjoy the Stuart Skinner video.
I've been the one here sitting defending Stuart Skinner.
Well, that's our time for today. Coming up, we have bagged milk. They're saying bad things about me. I want you to know that. We have bagged milk. We have declinations, Declan CAA, and I'll probably be back, but who knows? Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Declan.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors Inc. Floors done right for homes or businesses. Visit the new showroom, 11577 149th Street. That's 11577 149th Street. It's open 6 days a week. The Saturday hours are 10 to 2. You can also visit customfloorsinc.ca and you'll bring that next flooring project to life. NHL schedule, the Oilers, of course, in Boston taking on the Bruins. 5 p.m. puck drop for that game, and it will be Tristan Jarry in the starters net. Other games in the NHL today, CD Blackhawks and Canadiens at 5, Penguins and Sens at the same time, Kings and Lightning. And the late games today in the NHL, we'll see the Kraken in Calgary to take on the Flames and Dallas and San Jose to take on the Sharks. In the NBA today, action gets going with 2 games at 5, Atlanta in Charlotte and New York in Indiana. The late game today, we'll see Sacramento in Portland to take on the Trailblazers. Lakers also in action out in Utah with a 7 p.m. tip. The line for that one, LA -9.5. Week 16 of the NFL gets going with the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. That one is a 6:15 kickoff. The line for that one currently Seattle at -1.5. Other news around the sporting world, the brother of Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua has been arrested allegedly over the theft of Los Angeles Lakers player Ado Thuro's car, and former NHL forward Milan Lucic has joined the Fife Flyers of the British Elite League. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Mr. Rooter decorates a gingerbread house.
Wow. What did you do here, Mr. Rooter?
Well, we've got a Jube Jube toilet, complete with an icing-based wax seal. The main water line is licorice, red for hot, black for cold. You got your standard marshmallow hot water tank and a candy cane sewer line. And on the outside, candy corn hose pips. Disgusting, but they get the job done.
To have your Yule clogs fixed, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
He's a winner.
Sweet.
She's a winner too.
Right.
Everyone's a winner during Wish and Win at Wolf GMC Buick. Every single customer is guaranteed at least a $500 bonus with a chance to save up to $25,000 towards a new GMC or Buick. At Wolf GMC Buick, we also have 0% financing up to 84 months on most of our popular SUVs and trucks. And we're clearing out remaining 25s, including cash discounts up to $10,000 on a great selection of Sierra HDs. 90 seconds east of the Henday. Wolf GMC Buick, where everyone wins.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit FountainTire.com today.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440. All the sports and pure pop for now people. That's what we offer. We're here for Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for their Wish and Win event. Everyone's a winner. You're guaranteed a minimum $500 bonus on your new vehicle purchase. $500 bonus on your new vehicle purchase. Outstanding. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. We're now joined by our friend Bag Milk from Motors Nation. Mr. Milk, how are you?
Good day, Al. I'm doing very well. Hope you are too.
Do we have you on the video yet? I'm looking for it now, but we're getting everybody on video if they want to come on. But you don't have to.
No, I won't be doing that. I'm still maintaining my shtick in the shadows, Al.
Okay.
I'm here, there, and everywhere, like the wind.
All right. Are you? If I saw you in a grocery store, would I recognize you? Only if you spoke, probably.
Yeah, probably if I spoke. I think that's how I get recognized the most these days.
Yeah, I walk around your neighborhood saying, here, Frank, hoping to, he'll come over and then I'll know who you are. But I would not recognize you if you walked up to me and said, hi, Lowetide.
I bet you would, Al. We've met a couple of times, but it's been a minute. I think maybe unless I do like an outfit change or maybe like a costume change, like a performer, maybe I'd trick you, but I think I'd get you.
All right. Well, Trent Frederick trying to do a costume change tonight to play fourth line center. I don't like him there. In fact, I'm not really pleased with his effort. I think his effort is fine, but I don't think he's 100%. His foot speed isn't there. What's your feeling about Frederick in general, and then specifically about playing fourth line center?
Yeah. So, man, it's been a tough season for Freddie, and there's no other way to put it. Struggling mightily. I don't know if it's the pressure of that contract and he's trying to do too much, or if there's something still going on that we maybe haven't heard of. I don't know, but it's not going his way through the first 30 plus games of the season. And I do wonder what it's going to take to unlock even just what he was in Boston before he arrived. Is that moving him to center between, Max Jones and Quinn Hudson? Is that going to be it? I don't personally believe so. I think that having the extra, responsibilities as a centerman is probably not needed on his plate right now while he's still trying to figure everything else out. But it does look like the Oilers are just trying to do what they can with him, and hopefully this is kind of the key. But I'm with you. I'd prefer to have him on the wing. I just don't see this line as one that's going to stick together probably through the whole night, if I was to guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Henrique with Mangiapane and Janmark played together the other night. They had a weird line. They played 8 minutes together, no shots, but they had an 80% expected goal share and 2 high danger chances. So there's some promise there. And those are veterans who can help suppress the other team's offense. Do you like that line at all? It's like 3 grumpy old men, or like grumpier old men.
I like the idea of it. I do wish there was one of the 3 that maybe was on a little bit of a heater that could kind of have a little bit more finish, because I thought they played reasonably well against Pittsburgh, and you just kind of listed the expected goals for, and you go, wow, that's a really high number. But if only these guys didn't have, very few goals over the last 30 games each. I mean, everybody, if I remember correctly, Henrique hasn't scored since after his 1000th game. Mangiapane has been a while. Janmark has been more recent, but still not as much as we'd want. So I think that at the very least, those 3 have to be effective checkers. They can't get scored on, and hopefully they can find a little bit of magic and get the monkey off one of their backs, because all 3 of them are struggling right now. And maybe misery loves company, and they can kind of rally around each other and get out of it. But, yeah, that one they are starving for offense, those 3 right now.
At the beginning of the year, Frederick was on the top line. Roslovic was playing a lot. And Coach Chris Knobloch talked at length to the media about, don't worry about Matt Savoy and the offense. That will come. We want him to be responsible. We're going to penalty kill. He's now on the second line. Certainly in December, he's bringing it offensively. He's been quite successful as a scorer and outside scorer on the Leon Draisaitl line. So my question is, has he arrived? Is he in pen for the playoffs as a skill winger for these Edmonton Oilers, in your opinion?
Hope so. I hope so. I think, at the end of the day, what we're looking for is consistency outside of our big dogs, right? And if there's a player here who can score with consistency and kind of do it more than a fortnight or a lunar cycle or whatever you want to pick, I think that's going to give them an inside track to lock in that spot. But if you're playing beside Leon Draisaitl, you kind of have to. He's going to get the puck to you. He's going to give you chances. He's one of the best players on earth. Got his 1,000th point against Pittsburgh the other night. I hope so. I wish I had a more concrete answer for you, but I hope so. I just think that we've been looking at secondary scoring as an issue for the Oilers for so long now that I kind of forget what it's like to not have it. So I think it's going to be the hot hand, no matter whoever it is, and I hope that this is going to be the way forward. But I'm hopeful. I'm always glass half full.
What are your thoughts on Tristan Jarry, but also Stastny as well?
Okay, so Tristan Jarry is obviously the big trade, and we saw him against Toronto, and we saw him again in Pittsburgh the other day. I thought he's played well. I thought he's made some big saves against Toronto. I think specifically of the breakaway that John Tavares had at a key moment of the game, and he made that stop. I also think he made some key stops against Pittsburgh when, just before the Oilers were kind of starting to pull away and put the game in the rearview mirror. I thought he made some really quality stops. I do wish the team in front of him would keep it going for the full 60 to kind of stop these garbage goals in garbage time that kind of affected and sewered his numbers over the first two starts with the Oilers. But for the most part, I think that he's played pretty well. And I'm also trying to give him a little bit of patience because he hasn't even been back to Edmonton yet. He hasn't been to Edmonton yet. So I think that it's probably a whirlwind for him the last week, and he's trying to get settled in. He's trying to get acclimatized with his new teammates. And for the most part, I thought he's done pretty well. As for Spencer Stastny, I didn't know anything about him before the trade, and I'll admit it. I'm just learning about him as a lot of Oilers fans are, but he's come as advertised. You read about him after the trade, you heard about his wheels and how well he skates. And by my eyes, through 2 games, he does exactly that. I also like his first pass. I think that his first pass out of the zone is pretty clean. I like seeing him jump into the play a little bit. I'd like to see that continue, but it's going to take a while for, I think, a lot of us to learn more about Spencer Stastny, but the first impression is good. He's got some tools there. He's still a younger man. He's, if I remember correctly, 5 or 6 years younger than Kulak, so it might take some time to get to that level, but first impressions have been solid. And I think that probably playing with Emberson, knowing that those two played together for 3 years previously probably helps a little bit, but so far so good. And if I'm going to give him a compliment, I think he has a lot of shifts where he's quiet and unnoticeable. And I say that in the best possible way, because I think that's what you want from your third pairing.
The Boston Bruins are an interesting team to me because, I followed them for years, and I will tell you that there are parts of this team that are performing at a high level that not too long ago seemed like remnants and Rolands. And by that, I mean, they're playing, well, but I think they're playing beyond what we can expect them to do over an entire season. That said, they're 5-2-0 in December. Edmonton is 5-2-1. They're getting the goaltending. The defense is better. They're getting goals from guys like Morgan Geekie a lot, and of course Pasternak is still there. So what's your expectation of this game in terms of a result? The Oilers are very, very good lately, but so are the Bruins.
I think this is, and obviously I'm biased. I'm a homer. I love the Oilers. I think this is a winnable game for Edmonton. I really do, even though you're going into Boston, you're going into the TD Gardens, and it's going to be a tough environment to play in. But I think the Oilers can beat them if they play as well as they can. If they give us the first 40 minutes that we got against the Penguins, I think that we're in a good spot. My concern, I guess, would be if they're a little bit sloppy. I think of the game against Montreal where there were some turnovers and some giveaways and some lapses in decision-making that just ultimately cost them that game. And if they do that against the Bruins, they're going to lose, because I think a lot of us thought the Bruins would be significantly lower in the standings than second place in the Atlantic through 34 games. But at 7-3 in their last 10, the Bruins are playing some really solid hockey, and that means the Oilers are going to have to play smart when the puck is on their stick. They're going to have to play smart when the puck is off their stick. And the last thing they want to do with this Bruins team is give them unearned looks that can give players like Geeky and Pasternak an opportunity to score. So the Oilers just have to play some simple hockey, keep the puck on their stick as much as possible, shoot when you have the chance, don't look for passes, but ultimately it's about playing a simple game, and I think the Oilers are going to be fine. This is a winnable game, but if you think you can go in there and bring your B or C game against the Bruins, you're going to lose. So details matter tonight, and I'd like the Oilers to be crossing all their T's and dotting all their I's.
There is talk, and I think it was LeBrun talking about Evan Bouchard kind of re-entering the chat in terms of the Olympics and maybe being the number 8 defenseman for the Canadian Olympic team. What are your thoughts on that? And would you rather have him go and play, or would you rather have him stay and rest?
Well, the rest versus play thing is always interesting to me, because obviously you're going over to Italy, provided that the ice and rink are complete, I suppose. But you're going over to Italy for 3 weeks, and that when you could be resting and on the beach in Cabo. But I also think about the fact that the players who are going to be away from the Olympics and taking a break during that time, chances are they're not in the gym and eating clean all that whole time either. So I think that going over to that Olympic tournament, if he gets the opportunity to do it, would be really good for Evan Bouchard, because that would give him a chance to be surrounded by some Hall of Famers all throughout that lineup, watching how they prepare, talking to them about how they see the ice or how they see things, talking to the other defensemen about how they're making reads and how things look. I think even if he gets over there as the 8th defenseman and doesn't get a chance to play or play all that much, I think the experience of actually being there with the caliber of players around him would be hugely beneficial. Because while the fact that Evan Bouchard, he may look like a 45-year-old man, he's still in his mid-20s, and there's lots to learn left for him. So I think if he got that opportunity to go hang out with the likes of the players that are going to be on that Olympic team, I think that would be hugely beneficial.
Is Frank a snow dog?
Oh, man, Frank is having a miserable time right now. He is just so unhappy about this snow. He likes the idea of snow. He likes to play in the snow. But, I'm thinking about on Monday when it got back up to +4, +5, whatever it was on Monday. Those are the days he likes to play in the snow. But then when we got that big dump yesterday, just even getting him outside to do his business is a challenge. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Frank. It's all the way up to his tummy these days in the backyard, so I might just have to dig out some trenches so he can go out there and do his business. But no, he is not a happy dog right now with these temperatures and all the snow.
Yeah, I've got a little dog who loves the snow, goes out and eats the snow, rolls around in it, comes back and makes a big mess. And then I've got a big dog who gets out there, does the business, and gets back in like a reasonable dog would. You know what I mean? So I think you've got the third version, which is I think pretty reasonable when it gets really cold. Why would you be out there at all?
Hey, if I don't want to go outside, I don't blame him for wanting to go outside. He looks at me all the time when I tell him to go outside and do his business. He goes, hey, you don't have to do this. Why do I have to do it?
And a good point by him. All right. Thanks for this. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Al.
There you go. Bagnell, Waters Nation. We have Declan CAA coming up at 1:40 today. Can you preview it for us? Are we going to talk about college hockey, basketball, football, highlight, summer hockey, cheerleading? What?
Yes, excellent question. If this is your first time tuning into the show, I'm Declan, by the way, joined by Josh and Lowetide, if this is your first time tuning in. Declan CAA today will be college football related. After the college football season ends, we shift to a college basketball segment. After that season ends, we change it to Declan CFL. That's kind of the gist. Okay. So today, college football.
So if there was a big college hockey signing, you wouldn't mention that.
I don't follow NCAA hockey. It honestly might be the North American sport I follow the least. Because obviously, it's CHL first. and NCAA. Like, I just have more sports that take far priority. I've never thought about that, but I bet it is probably the North American sport I follow the least.
Interesting.
NCAA hockey, yeah. Hey, listen, it's great hockey.
Oh, no, I understand.
Yeah.
And look, I don't follow the NBA or NFL like you guys do. So, like, I think that's what makes this show stronger, is we all, with the exception of Josh, who was assigned highlight and he doesn't even know what it is.
Never gave us that report.
He never did. He said, oh, well, we'll just pass on that one today. And meanwhile, all the highlight people are out there. By the way, do you know that pickleball is very popular?
I do, actually. I have a friend on the pro tour circuit or whatever.
Oh, really, eh?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say friend. Girl I went to junior high and high school with, but hung out with a bit.
Would she if you called her and said, hey, it's Josh?
She would.
Okay.
I've seen her in public a couple times since graduation.
Right. And she didn't point you out to security?
No, she didn't.
Okay, good.
She came over, said, oh, hi, Josh. How's it going? Gave me a hug, chit-chat a little bit.
When I drive into St. Albert, there's a gigantic pickleball, like a gigantic pickleball building, but there's nobody ever there. I think that they take an Uber over.
Oh.
Yeah. They want to be seen at the pickleball place, apparently.
I don't know why. It also might be a midday thing.
Could be. That's a good point. All I know is that pickleball was a gentlemanly sport until Dave Jamieson ruined it with his ruffianism. And he went in there and just started breaking ankles and slashing people. And it's a different sport now. And
just remember, don't jump from the kitchen.
Okay. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Yappa Machinery Group knows that
Smith twists in toward Brian, and Thomas knocked it away. Mitchell on the run. Off the hook. Throws it down. A vicious dunk. Scores a beautiful ball to the roof. Just a walk in the park here for Brad. Full control from the faced up. Here's Thomas floating on it. A pass forward, shoots. So it's the St. Louis Blues who draw first blood. Justin Falk's 8th of the season. And it's 1-0 here for the Blues. It's been a step.
Boxing Week blowout starts early at the Brick. Find real Boxing Day prices early and beat the rush on the 26th. Score the best deals on electronics and appliances, plus save up to $1,000 off sectional. Buy more, save more. Up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and up to 40% off mattresses, and $500 off big screen TV. Don't wait for the crowds. Shop the Brick's Boxing Week early access event. Some exclusions apply. The Brick. Saving you money.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that miss. Check out Kevin Carey's weekday mornings from 7 till 11 on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. With special guests Haley Benedict and Morgan Clyburn. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. Hosted by Chris Sheets. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Tire. Success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
This Christmas, Subaru is proud to support the Little Warriors, a national charitable organization
organization dedicated to protecting children, raising awareness, and helping survivors heal from the trauma of child sexual abuse. Join us for a Phil Forster event at Rally Subaru in Subaru City. We're collecting much-needed items like AAA batteries, art supplies, backpacks for kids, winter gear, and laundry essentials. Drop off your donations at either location and be entered to win a free detail package. Thank you for
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check it out. Wish and win event on now. Everyone's a winner. WolfGMCBuick.com. Getting several people, including Alberto and Blair, saying that the pickleball place is shut down. That's why I'm not seeing cars there. Very keen eye for Lowetide. That's too bad because I think that is a growing sport. But, you know, you got to hit it just right. And it looked like a big building. I'm sure the rent was a little heavy. Does anybody monitor Brandon's theft of headphones? He comes in here and walks out with one.
Maybe that's where your headphones went out.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's where they went. Maybe he took them.
No, it says he's got his name there.
Declan on him?
No, it says Brandon, but I think he just put that on. Wow.
Who's Douglas?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point, you know.
I only know the Duke of Delburn, who is allegedly, by the way, Mark Spector. It said that for a while. We Googled the Duke of Delburn. And the Google Gemini AI said, oh, he's known on Sports 1440 as the Duke of Delburn, AI, a.k.a. Mark Spector.
Look,
huh?
Here's the thing. AI, fill your hat. I don't care. But when people start talking about music that AI makes, you've lost the plot. Humans make music for other humans. And once in a while, a dog walks by a piano and howls like they've never eaten food, and that's also funny. But I refuse to believe that AI is going to make me weep. I just refuse to believe that.
It's not even like real. They're not writing original songs using AI. They're just remastering it with AI in a different time. Like, oh God, what's that one? She got dumps like a truck, size like a what all night long from Pitch Perfect. They remastered it as a church song from like the 60s. It's bopping, but I'm like, this sucks. Like, I hate that the fact that I enjoy what this sounds like, and I wish this could just be done for real.
I just feel like I feel like saying that, you know, AI, okay, smart asses, go do Talking Heads because you'll never make it.
No, like that's the whole point, is they're going to take over the menial jobs, and we all get to sit around arguing about sports, or is Steven Spielberg the greatest
but what if
director of all
pay their
time?
Bills?
Pardon me?
What if people can't pay their bills because they can't get a job because AI is doing it?
That I know. That's what I'm saying. AI is a tool. This is what our argument was in school for AI in media versus out of media.
You know, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Some countries are going to pay people to stay home and earn a living by just staying home. And then some countries are just going to watch their people
suffer.
Yeah. Hey, boys, love the show. NCAA men's hockey is fantastic. It isn't broadcast as well as it should be, but it's getting there. Lots of talented player import from the CHL this year. I loved NCAA hockey. I've been watching it for years. The only restriction I have is that I can't access it, but I've got this thing called Flow Hockey now, FLO Hockey, for the Bakersfield Condors games. And I've been sliding into some other leagues, and Lowetide likes it. The problem Lowetide has is that he doesn't have enough time. I'm like Declan is to the NCAA hockey. That's the way I am with NBA and NFL football. Like I was looking forward to NBA basketball on Christmas Day. I always watch it. But then I found out that a network that I have has 2 NFL games on Christmas Day.
Now you don't know what the hell to watch.
Well, I'm just concerned. I got to make a turkey too.
You make the turkey?
I made a turkey last year and everybody liked it. Some people refuse to eat it, but everybody who ate it liked it. So I'm going to try again this year.
A turducken? Maybe try a turducken.
No, I'm not. I'm just going with the straight turkey.
My parents and I were joking about that. I was talking to them on the phone a couple days ago. And in case nobody saw, the QE2 by Airdrie yesterday got incredibly piled up. It was, I showed Declan the video on Yegwave. It was like 45 seconds probably of just backed up traffic due to the blizzard. Oh my good God. I was on the phone with my parents. I was like, if it's like that next week, I'm not coming down for Christmas. I'm literally not coming down. Like, I'm putting my foot down on the 23rd. If anything like that happens, I'm not leaving. My dad was like, yeah, you could just go to Denny's, like in the Santa Claus. So can I get chocolate milk, please?
I watched the Santa Claus last night.
Can I make a suggestion to you?
Sure.
And this is me as a dad.
Sure.
You don't have to pay attention to it. But why don't you take like the 23rd off and then drive down on the 22nd?
I could do that. However, Declan has is leaving after the 23rd.
Okay.
So then all of a sudden,
all right, I get it. I understand.
We're thrusting other people into work, and that's okay.
This is why people should employ Jehovah's Witnesses, because they
I thought
don't
we weren't
celebrate
working on Christmas Eve.
And we're not.
I'm working on Christmas Eve.
What do you? No, I thought you were not.
Me and Brandon and Connor are working on Christmas Eve.
I'm not doing a show Christmas Eve for you, so
I'm
can go.
I'm aware. I get to leave at noon instead of at 2.
Okay. All right. Get home. Drive before the sundown, because at night, I'm sorry, I know you all think you know how to drive at night, but I've seen you, and you don't.
And the thing is that, like, in the winter, nighttime is at 4 p.m. So there's still a lot of people on the road. I remember leaving Calgary one time last year, and it was dark out, and I went, great, there's going to be no one on the road. And then I remembered, oh yes, it's 5:30, and I drove in front of a guy in a truck who had his headlights blasting into my eyeballs as it reflected off of my.
You just turn the mirror up.
I know. I put it in the reverse mode. It did not help all that much.
Oh, damn.
I got to be honest.
That is the Thong Song by Cisco. Get some culture, says Nikki from the
I knew
north
it was
side.
the Thong Song. I just couldn't remember what the name was.
Well, I never trust anything called Thong Song, and I don't know what Cisco is, but it takes me back to when I found out what Scissor Sisters meant. So that pile up in Calgary was 80 to 100 cars, says Husks. I know. I saw the video on that. It was like, what bothers me is, some of those cars were really cracked up. Did somebody think to take the people and take them to a warm place? Because probably their car wouldn't start. You're out in the middle of nowhere. It's a blizzard, and it's going to be 5 hours before the folks get to you. I hope everybody's okay from that.
Say 5 hours, please. With that, like, I'd be surprised if everything from yesterday is cleaned up today.
Man,
like, that had to be. What do we think? Like a 12-hour log jam?
Man.
At least on the QE2?
That's insane.
Southbound?
12 hours? No, wasn't it northbound?
Maybe it was.
Regardless, man, like, that's insane.
But yeah.
12 hours during the holiday season.
Like, let's rough guesstimate. 100-car pileup right by a hub in Calgary.
Was it Bicycle or where was it?
It was in between Calgary and Airdrie, I think.
Okay.
Didn't give me specifics.
That's a busy highway, man.
It's a very busy highway. My assumption when I was talking to Declan was I think it was between Balzac and Airdrie.
Yeah.
But
that looked right. As someone who's driven that highway so many times.
Like by that truck out stop just past the RV companies and stuff.
That QE2 thing was totally avoidable. I'm not the greatest driver in the world, but speed is the number one factor in all of these things. If you're going to write speed limit for the conditions, those things don't happen. I'll say Hot Salsa, based on what I saw, it looked like it was glare ice. And I haven't driven in Vancouver when it's really bad, but they do have glare ice in Vancouver on hills, and it's impassable. So I think it was one of those areas. There's a spot where, and people are not going to believe me, but I lived in Red Deer for a long time. And from like Bowden to after Ponoka, there's just an area there where the wind comes across and it varnishes the winter roads. And that may be what happened in this particular case.
Did you say no one's going to believe you with that?
Because I'm specifically saying it's between Bowden and just after Ponoka. I've driven that road a lot, and that's the worst road I drive when I go down.
I always thought it was worse going from Bowden to like Airdrie.
Maybe if you can extend it.
I definitely think you can extend it because I find the wind down that way much worse. Oh my God, we're a sports station. We're talking about the weather. I did it.
Well, you started it.
I know.
Oh,
I'm so
for
sorry.
Christmas. No, I'm not.
I'm
You know,
so
your
sorry.
mom might be watching. Now she has a sad heart.
She knows. Like we had this conversation, me and her together.
Well, how is she going to get the turkey to you and allow you to do your laundry for
Well,
nothing?
I have laundry in my apartment, so that's fine. And I'm sure like I'll have a nice either Christmas by myself or I'll crash my buddy Julian's Christmas because they're like my second family.
Okay. And then
Just
you'll
fly.
be able,
But
you should fly. Yeah.
I could fly. That
Yeah.
being said, flying on the holidays sounds more dicey than going down the highway.
But don't they have Greyhounds anymore?
Well, then that involves me putting my life in the hands of another person on a sketchy road, and I'm not sure how much more I enjoy that than having to drive down by myself. The safest hands are your own. Why are you crying on live radio, Al?
Hot Salsa sends this message in that says, I'm not the greatest driver in the world. Speed is the number one factor. I read that. Then he goes, hi, babe, I'm here. And then he says, sorry, Lowetide, you're not my babe. I know, Hot Salsa. I am aware. Wow.
Clicked on the wrong person in the text message.
I mean, I've gotten some unusual texts, but that one does take the case.
I don't even think that's that unusual. You know, it's happened to me before where I've texted someone and be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Whatever. And then it's, my boss. And he's like, why are you texting me? I say, oh, that's my bad.
Gord says, perhaps I've missed it, but has anybody in the media had enough courage to ask Bowman why he signed Frederick for $4 million times 8 years after the small sample size last year, which Frederick didn't do anything? Have they asked Knobloch why he isn't sitting Frederick? Well, first of all, I think there's an elapsed time period here that people have. Let me explain. $3.85 million in the new world order of the cap isn't going to be an outrageous amount to pay for a middle six left winger, which I think he is. That's what I think he is. Score you 12 to 15 goals. He can play with truculence. He can play with skill, or he can slide down and play on a checking line. That's not outrageous. Now, here's the thing. Even if I'm writing an article tomorrow about this, but I'm bridging it by saying, if it continues, blah, 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 because it's too small a sample. And I think you've listened to the show long enough to trust and believe that sample sizes are important. And if you don't believe that, then we can disagree, and that's fine. These guys don't like analytics. We can all live along on life and enjoy each other by disagreeing.
That is literally the opposite of the conversation we had yesterday, where we all came out in the exact same point.
No, but you said I like analytics, but eye test is more valuable, and you don't connect the two. Do you connect
That's not
eye
what
test
we said.
and analytics?
We said we do connect the two.
Yeah, but you don't. You flush analytics as soon as it disagrees with your eye test. You flush analytics.
No, because the analytics have to be explaining something to me that I'm not seeing.
Thank you. Thank you.
But-
Thank you, Matt Fenwick's son, who would say the same thing. There you go. All right. I'm getting a lot done.
Exactly. They're like AI.
I'm getting a lot done today by just being contrary. I got to do this more often. I feel better. Don't you guys?
No.
Listen, I love when we disagree, frankly, because you're wrong about a lot. So
Mhm.
it's nice we have a chance to sit back here and call you out.
You think I'm wrong about a lot. As you get older, you'll find out that I'm not.
Well, your Jimmy Butler take 7 minutes ago was,
I
was
thought
pretty
I got
bad.
a lot.
I don't think that was 7 minutes ago.
But the other thing about it,
Contrary to
the Jimmy Butler take, which was about 50 minutes ago, it got a lot out of you about Stuart Skinner that I think the audience needed to hear.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I think I'm helping you by being deliberately belligerent about your man Jimmy.
I was interested in your take that you don't want him to have one because you don't think the fans deserve one.
I think fans who really legitimately were sorry to see him go, I think that it is completely appropriate for them to regale in a thank you to a player who helped them to 2 Stanley Cup finals. But for the people who ripped him online and on my blog and on Twitter and all of those things, I don't think you should stand. I don't think you should applaud. I think you should sit there and follow through on what you said because you have to admit there's a lot of anonymous stuff that goes online where people become braver than they are in person. Well, don't fake it. If you were saying online that you didn't like Stuart Skinner and he was the biggest problem in the world, then don't applaud when the video comes on when it plays at Rogers.
But those people who are hiding behind anonymous accounts, saying the things they're saying, they're not going to applaud. They're not going to stand up and cheer. They're going to stand 10 toes down and remain the way they were. But
fine.
I'm just saying there are people who weren't the biggest Stuart Skinner people who are going to kind of come around and say, you know what? I wasn't the biggest Stuart Skinner guy, but it's
and
boy,
that's all
I hate
fine.
to see him go.
But the stuff I read online, the folks who are saying that, man, you
but they never would.
You got to have the courage of your convictions. If you believe that much about Stuart Skinner, then you can't applaud.
I think the backlash from the trade when it happened of everyone saying this is a bad deal, like it would have been better to keep Skinner, whatever. I think that's a larger thought of how people feel about Stuart Skinner. Is like, I would rather not see him go.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought maybe both Jari and Skinner would have been the way to go.
Yeah, I agree.
The Red Arrow bus is good from Alberto. That's good.
Yeah, I picked my sister up. My sister's taking a Red Arrow tomorrow, actually, down to Calgary with her friend. By the way, shout out to Macklin Celebrini's little brother, RJ Celebrini. You know how many points he has in the U15 PCBHL?
How many games?
39 games.
165.
Okay.
111.
You were closer. It's 106.
See, you always go the under.
39 games.
That's the way it works. John says, I once texted Sports 1440 during Gregor's show. Just sent you my T4 finally. That's funny. What's the funniest thing you've texted by mistake?
Oh, I got a crazy one that I'm not going to say.
Please say it. Please. No. I'll give you $1.
No.
Was it something meant for your girlfriend meant that you sent to somebody else?
It was something sent to my dad.
Oh, was it?
And it wasn't that funny for me.
Was it salacious?
No. No.
Was it a criticism
of
slandering
your dad?
No.
Oh, okay.
Was it slandering your mom?
No.
Okay, we got 20 of these questions.
Yeah, 17 left. I'm trying to think of the funniest, like the actual funniest one I sent.
I spilled coffee on myself because I just thought of the text that Karen sent me once, but I cannot tell you. We have to take a break. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit FountainTire.com today.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 EEE. Buy quality, buy Canadian, and support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
After 20 years, Canada's most prestigious international hockey tournament returns. The Camrose Viking Cup, December 28th to January 4th at Encana Arena. Tickets at vikingcup.ca. Brought to you by Sports 1440.
Hockey talent from across the globe is coming to Camrose. The Viking Cup returns for the first time in nearly 20 years, December 28th to January 3rd at the Encana Arena. Witness this elite competition between teams from Canada, the USA, and Europe. See the speed, skill, and intensity of world-class hockey right at home. Fully bet packages are on sale now with adult and student pricing available. Get your tickets before they sell out at vikingcup.ca.
Ho, ho, ho! 'Tis the season to find the perfect gift at the perfect price at Leduc Goldsmiths.
The annual Christmas sale is on now with 10 to 25% off all in-store products. All natural and lab-created diamond engagement rings up to 25% off with a wide selection available. You'll have no trouble finding the right piece. The team at Leduc Goldsmiths have years of expertise to help find what you need. Leduc Goldsmiths on Main Street, Leduc. Leduc's Jewelry Store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick at 141. Had a question here really quickly before we get to declinations. Ranting Rob, what do you how do you rate Matt Lowry? Any projections? I'll say this about Mason Lowry of the Boston Bruins. This is his second full season, and I'm still not seeing him clearly. I'd say it's like 50-50. He'll make it as a regular, like a 10-year guy. But he's an interesting player, put it that way. Okay, it's time for declinations presented by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca, article, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. And with that, we say a hearty hello to Mr. College Football, ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger.
That's what's up. Listen, man, it's at the point of the season. Like I've talked about it every Thursday since August, basically. There's a couple Wednesdays in there. Yeah, it's time for the games, isn't it? Oklahoma and Bama. Look at there's a college football commercial on the TV right now. You just missed it. Oklahoma and Bama tomorrow night. Then we got 3 great games on Saturday. Texas A&M and Miami. Well, we got 3 games on Saturday. I don't know if they're great games. Texas A&M and Miami, Tulane and Ole Miss, which is actually a rematch, and JMU Oregon. I guess one thing maybe I should talk about is there's kind of been a growing sentiment from college football analysts who are very, very anti-G5. And this is the argument they give, and I can appreciate this.
When you say anti-G5, can you explain that?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. Thank you. So in college football, there are 4 power conferences. You have the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the SEC, the Southeastern Conference. And these are where the big-time schools with the most money and the best resources all play. Then you have the group of 5. You have 5 different conferences, including you have MAC, Conference USA, you have the Sun Belt, you have the Mountain West, and you have, which one am I missing? Which one didn't I say? Regardless, you have a fit. Well, no, I should probably get. You have MAC, Conference USA, the Sun Belt, you have the Mountain West, and you have. This is no one cares about this but me. No, but it's a personal thing.
It's not Pac-10. I know that.
No, it's like this is really going to kill me.
Well, you just
the American, duh.
That's
duh.
Okay.
That's the Tulane. Okay. That's a bad look for me. Anyway, so you got those 5, and those are smaller schools. Those are schools with less resources. Those are schools with less money. And essentially, how the college football playoff rules are set up, every year, at the very minimum, there will be one group of 5 league champion in the college football playoff. And it is kind of akin to a Cinderella school in March Madness. And some people have compared it to a AAA baseball team playing in the majors. I think that's a little bit drastic, but I can understand it in the NIL era. So the reason for this is really just so the group of 5 schools can avoid litigation with the NCAA. But this Cinderella story is something that really, it's a huge part of the North American sports culture, and we all love to root for an underdog. And like Lowetide, there's nothing better than seeing a 15 or a 16 seed win in March Madness.
It's awesome.
There's nothing better than seeing an 8 seed win in the playoffs. We love that. We love the little guy. We love David taking down Goliath. But there's kind of been a sentiment from some of the college football talking heads, the Josh Pates, the Kirk Herbstreits, the Joel Klatz, some of the real big names in the college football world that are very, very anti-G5. Nick Saban came out today or yesterday and said kind of as much. And I understand their sentiment in this sense. Like they go about it, listen, are we trying to find the 12 best teams? Because if we're trying to find the 12 best teams, a group of 5 team is not one of those 12 best teams. And I kind of would, generally speaking, probably agree. But I would also counter and say, listen, Boise State, was 12-1 last year, whose only loss was by 3 points to Oregon, who was an undefeated Big Ten champion, number 1 overall seed. Like, they deserve to be in. And there is going to be a year where the group of 5 team wins a playoff game and maybe even wins a couple. And it is going to be so awesome. And it is going to be such a story. And it is going to be historic. And it is going to be remembered forever. But the opposite side of that coin, where people are saying like, nah, we'd rather, we want to see Notre Dame in because they're one of the 12 best teams. We want to see Texas in because they're one of the 12 best teams. And we want to see the 12 best teams play. We don't want to see a Cinderella. Personally, I disagree. Most of the sentiment out there I've seen disagrees. But there is something to be said for, we actually want the 12 best as opposed to the 12, as opposed to maybe the 10 best, and how the rules are set up to let in the other one or the other two. So I get where that's coming from. And listen, JMU is probably going to lose to Oregon by a lot of points. And Tulane is playing Ole Miss. Tulane's out of the American, Ole Miss out of the SEC. They played once already this season. Ole Miss won 45-10. Now they're rematching as a playoff game. So I get where people are coming from. But you know what? Screw all that, because Cinderellas are awesome. There's nothing more we love than seeing an 8-seed win. There's nothing more we love than seeing a 15 or 16 seed win in March Madness. There's nothing more we love than seeing a small nation go on a run in the World Cup, like Costa Rica in 2014 or Morocco in 2022. It's awesome. It's what makes sports special. So if you're one of those big names, if you're Joel Klatt or Josh Pate or Kirk Herbstreit, shut up and let us enjoy our sport.
Well, also, I will say that I am absolutely in favor of fairness. So Notre Dame not making it is fair because other teams were more worthy.
Well, I hate to come to the defense of Notre Dame. Miami was more worthy of Notre Dame, and they made it over Notre Dame. Was JMU or Tulane more worthy than Notre Dame? Probably not. Would Notre Dame smoke them? I mean, probably.
So then what is fair then?
I like it the way it is because I like group of 5 representation and I like Cinderellas. And here's the thing. There's going to be a year when one of those group of 5 teams gets a great program and wins a couple games. It's going to happen. It might not be this year. Probably I'd be unbelievably shocked if it was this year, but it'll happen at some point and it will be great. Is expansion the way to do it? I don't know. I don't think that's the way to do it either. If I had to pick it one way, I would make it an 8-team playoff, and I would just have the top 8 seeds. No conference affiliation, no championship affiliation attached. At the end of conference championship week, give me the top 8 seeds. Those can be the playoff team.
Well, what I'm most interested in is at the end of the day, because in any playoff, in any league, what you want is to say the best team won. So I need to include all the teams that could reasonably be regarded as the best team.
Yes.
Like if they won all through the playoff, then they deserve to be.
Team.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I need to include all the teams that could reasonably be assessed as the best team. Is Notre Dame one of those teams?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't like it then because they should have been in then.
Well, it's funny because they shouldn't have been in over any of the at-larges. It's such a complicated Like, I hate sitting here and explaining it. They shouldn't have got in over any of the at-large teams that got in, but they're better than the 2 group of 5 teams who got in. Like, I'm sorry. They're better than Tulane and JMU.
The group of 5, the reason they're in is because they want to, have representation, right?
Yeah, and, this is the thing. Like, there have been years where a group of 5 teams have gone undefeated and have beaten Power 4 schools and have been looked over when the playoff format was 2 teams in the BCS era or 4 teams in the 4-team era. And so this is a way to have that Cinderella story who could conceivably win in the playoff field. And listen, those group of 5, there'll come a day when that group of 5 team does win for sure. It's not going to be this year. And that's going to give a lot of fuel to the fire about people who thought Notre Dame should have been in. But yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, let's just enjoy the games. That's what this is about, right? You watch it for enjoyment. You want to have fun. Let's just enjoy it. It's football. Well, it's awesome.
I would agree with that, but I think Notre Dame should have gone to a bowl game even if they weren't playing for the championship.
Yeah, I hate that they turned down a bowl game. Because listen, here's the other thing. Selfishly,
seniors are playing, and I wanted to watch. I watch Notre Dame.
Totally,
I watch them every year.
Lowetide. Total. And here's the other thing. Selfishly, BYU and Notre Dame would have been a great game. Would have been a great game.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it at that. Games are going to happen this weekend. I can't wait to watch. It'll be fun.
All right. Any thoughts on the Bruins Oilers tonight? Do you have any predictions? Anything you're going to be watching for? You'll probably be watching the football game. So if you are, just fake it and tell me something.
I'm excited to watch what Trent Frederick's going to do at center. I don't love him. And he's playing with Max Jones and Quinn Hudson, right? That's his line.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's his first game back in Boston.
Yeah, like I'm going to be watching Trent. I mean, Trent Frederick's going to play 10 shifts in 6 minutes. So, like, how much am I really going to have to watch for? But I will be watching that. Boston, to me, very boring team as they're set up now.
Well, I'll tell you, they don't have a lot of stars.
Yeah.
They got Pasternak, Geeky's turning into one.
He's playing
McAvoy, Swayman. Those are the four that I would recognize. And I've watched Bruins hockey since Esposito centered Ken Hodge and Wayne Cashman. It's been a long time. But they are pedestrian compared to most of the Bruins teams of my lifetime. I think that's fair. You know, there are players on the ice tonight for Boston that I will not be terribly familiar with.
Should have passed it too. He's an underrated
great
player in this era.
He carried me in fantasy hockey last year.
Do you know that back in the olden days when I worked at the other station, I used to do a Saturday show.
Yep.
And I used to do the show with Paul Almeida. Mm-hmm. And the year of his draft, Paul Almeida, he has he books trips to Europe for hockey teams, and he takes them over there. And he was over in, I think, Czechia that year, and he saw Pasternak, and he came back, and we were sitting at a Smitty's like in May before the draft. And he said, a player the Oilers should get is David Pasternak. And I'm like, who? And he goes, I saw him. He said, I know this kid is like, on radar, and everybody's going to think of him as a late first round pick or whatever, but he might be like the third or fourth best player in the draft. And damned if he wasn't right. That's pretty good, Can
you guys remind me, when was David Pasternak drafted?
Well, that's the problem for the Oilers, because he was drafted in 2014, and that was the Leon Draisaitl draft.
Oh, well,
It worked out okay for the Oilers.
Yeah, but he went 25th overall, and he's certainly not the 25th best player taken from that draft.
I want to. Who went right before him? Do you remember? I'm looking it up right now.
Pasternak has 404 goals in his NHL career. Leon 416. So it's close.
Jared McCann.
Yeah,
he's done okay, but I mean, he's not Pasta.
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. My boy Sam Bennett got drafted 4th overall that year.
Yeah, I remember McTavish. Credit to Craig McTavish. He was thrilled when they got the 3rd pick, and I was like, "Why are you thrilled?" Because we're going to get one of 3 great players, and they got Leon, and Leon has 1,003 points.
Leon clearly goes 1 in that redraft
sure.
now.
Yeah, Bennett's probably 50th.
Okay.
It's been a say.
Who goes?
I'm not usually trolly like this. We can agree. Today was spectacular.
Who goes 2, Nylander or Pasta? I think Pasta, but
well, I would go Pasta. There's
Sorokin and Point were in that draft too.
Yeah,
it's crazy good.
I feel like maybe Sorokin.
Shesterkin was in that draft.
Yeah, I would probably take Sorokin over
Shesterkin. What about Ekblad?
I think Ekblad probably falls to 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, we got to go. We have to go. Tomorrow's Friday. We've got Lansky. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the game. Jason Gregor next. Please have a good time and safely.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Meals.loca.ca. Every fresh chef-crafted gourmet meal is handcrafted from scratch with fresh ingredients, and it arrives at your door fully cooked and ready to heat, eat, and repeat. Meals.loca.ca. Edmonton Oilers in action tonight in Boston, taking on the Bruins. 5 p.m. puck drop for that one. Tristan Jarry in the starters net. Other games in the league, we'll see the Blackhawks in Montreal and the Penguins in Ottawa. Those games with 5 p.m. puck drops as well. The late games in the league see the Kraken in Calgary to take on the Flames, and the Dallas Stars in San Jose to take on the Sharks. In the NBA, action all gets going with the Atlanta Hawks and Charlotte Hornets at 5, as well as the Knicks and Pacers. Toronto Raptors will be in Milwaukee at 6 p.m. The line for that one currently Toronto at -5.5. And the late game today, we'll see the Sacramento Kings in Portland to take on Scoot Henderson and the Trailblazers. Line for that one, -8.5. In the NFL, Week 16, the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks. 6:15 kickoff for that one. Seattle currently favored by -1.5 in that one. In news around the sporting world has seen the brother of Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua arrested and released over the alleged theft of Lakers player Adolfo's car. Elsewhere, former NHL forward and former Edmonton Oiler Milan Lucic has joined Fife Flyers of the British Elite League. I'm Declan Krueger.